Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a shortcut to get you really informed about something quite amazing, actually, the hidden healing powers of nature. We've looked at sources that show how our environment does more than just look nice. It seems to actively impact our well-being in some really surprising, kind of counterintuitive ways.
It really is a fascinating field right now because, science isn't just saying nature's good for you anymore. It's moving beyond that.
Yeah.
What's really compelling are the specific mechanisms, the biological and psychological impacts that researchers are uncovering. We're talking about actual measurable ways our surroundings interact with our health,
Yeah.
right down to the cellular level, even neurologically.
Okay, so let's jump right in with one that sounds, well, almost unbelievable. Our sources are suggesting there's like a natural mood booster just in the ground.
And
Yeah.
soil. It sounds incredible, doesn't it? But yes, the research points to this particular bacterium. It's called Mycobacterium vaccae. It's pretty common in soil. And when you interact with that soil, maybe gardening or just digging your hands in, this bacterium can actually prompt your brain to release more serotonin.
Serotonin, right, the feel-good chemical.
Exactly. So it's like nature's own gentle antidepressant, helps lift mood, can ease anxiety just from that contact.
That is wild. Just getting your hands dirty can literally change your brain chemistry. Okay, so that's touch. What about sight? Are there similar, maybe hidden benefits in just looking at nature, the patterns we see?
That's a great follow-up. And yes, definitely. Think about things like tree branches, snowflakes, even coastlines on a map. They have these complex repeating patterns. They're not just random shapes. They're mathematical structures, fractals.
Fractals, right, I've heard of those.
Well, what's amazing is that studies show just looking at these natural fractals can lower physiological stress by as much as 60% in
Yes,
some cases.
50%. Seriously.
Seriously.
Hmm.
And what's really interesting is this often happens even if you're not consciously thinking, oh, look, a fractal. It seems to be a deep, almost subconscious response.
Okay, so our eyes are picking up on this, calming us down without us even realizing it. What about breathing? Like just the air in a forest? Does that do anything specific?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Trees, especially when you're in a forest, release these organic compounds. They're called phytoncides.
Phytoncides, okay.
And when we breathe these in, our bodies react pretty directly. They actually ramp up the activity of our natural killer cells, NK cells.
NK cells, those are part of the immune system, right? Fighting off illness.
Exactly. They're crucial for fighting viruses, even keeping potential cancer cells in check. So yeah, that deep breath of forest air isn't just fresh, it's giving your immune system a tangible boost.
Wow. Okay, so soil, fractals, forest air. What about sound? How do natural sounds stack up against, say, listening to music for our brains?
Well, natural sounds seem to have a really unique effect. Things like, birds chirping, rain falling, a babbling brook. These sounds tend to activate what neuroscientists call the default mode network.
The default mode network, I think I've heard of that. That's involved in, like, daydreaming or self-reflection.
That's the one. It's linked to introspection, emotional balance, and unlike a lot of music, which might energize or distract, these natural sounds seem to help quiet the mental chatter. They can actually reduce rumination, going over and over negative thoughts. They foster a kind of calm clarity.
So nature sounds might actually help us get out of our own heads in a healthy way.
That's fascinating. All right, so clearly nature's hitting us on multiple sensory levels. Now, for anyone listening who wants a practical tip, maybe for boosting creativity, our sources mention something simple.
Oh, definitely. This one's quite striking. Research shows that taking a walk just 20 or 30 minutes in a natural setting, it can significantly boost what's called divergent thinking.
Divergent thinking.
Yeah.
That's like brainstorming, coming up with lots of different
Yeah.
ideas. Precisely. It's a key part of creativity. And the boost can be nearly 50%.
50% just from a walk in the park.
Compared to, say, walking down a city street, the studies show urban walks don't really produce that same creative lift.
Mm-hmm.
It really highlights how natural environments specifically nurture that kind of open-ended thinking.
So wrapping this all up then, the big message seems to be that nature isn't just, a nice backdrop. It's actively working on us, healing, boosting, calming us in very specific biological ways we're only just starting to fully appreciate. And the really cool part is how easy it is to access these things. You don't need anything special.
Exactly. Which leads to a really practical thought for everyone listening. Knowing these specific benefits are out there, what small things could you intentionally do? Maybe actively look for those fractal patterns next time you're outside. Or just take a few conscious deep breaths when you pass some trees. Maybe play some nature sounds while you work. How can you deliberately invite a little more of this potent natural medicine into your everyday life? Something to think about.